And I'm going to start with what I call my Wednesday wish list. Yes, I was going to call it my sort of whinge and wish list, but no, I thought actually let's try and have that optimism, that hope, that maybe next year, 2023, is the year that actually we can start to rebuild Britain. Maybe we can actually make Britain great again. A Britain that works, not strikes. I mean, that'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? And so I want us to sort of just focus on the word lower, because actually lower can be a very positive word. In 2023, I would like, for example, I've got a long list of things that I would like to be lower. The first thing is that I would like to have lower taxes for the lowest paid. It's achievable, it's doable, it's a political choice, but we could have lower taxes. The next layer is that hopefully, and I'm going to be talking about it later in the show, we might have lower inflation. And of course, one of the ways to do that, again, is a political choice by the government deciding to cut tax on consumer goods, such as VAT, such as the environmental levies, such as cutting tax on fuel duty that would increase economic activity. That's how you lower inflation. There are more tools in the box rather than just raising interest rates. And I don't want to talk about raising, I want to talk about lowering things. Also, I think we'd all like to see lower waiting lists, wouldn't we? But that requires reforms, significant reforms in the NHS. But I will be talking later in the show about some emerging good news about technology in the NHS. And again, it's worth just highlighting and pausing and celebrating bits of good news. So lower waiting lists with reforms to the NHS surely has to be a key part of the wish list for 2023. The other thing that we all need to be lower is our energy prices, which of course in 2022 soared completely through the roof, trebling, quadrupling, and more in some cases. So we all need lower energy prices. But how do we get them? Well, guess what? We're sitting on a pile of energy treasure. We should start using our own energy. But hopefully, we will have lower energy prices. That is essential to be competitive. It's essential for our businesses, and it's essential for all of us in being able, frankly, just to keep warm, to keep the lights on. The other lower I'd like to see is lower lawful immigration. In 2022, we had a record gross number of 1.1 million. We had a record net number of 504,000 lawful immigration. I'd like to see significantly lower lawful immigration. As I say, sometimes one's got to use one's imagination. Maybe one's got to trust the government. There's a novelty, isn't it? I'd also, of course, I think like most people, also like to see lower and then zero illegal immigration. Because again, this year we've seen record numbers, approaching 50,000 illegal immigrants coming across the English Channel. And it is just simply not fair to create that burden of cost on UK taxpayers, as well as the impact on local communities. So on my wish list, I want lower and then zero illegal immigration. And the next lower thing is I'd like a lower number of people on benefits. I'd like to get many more people off the benefits list, back into work, back into employment, which of course is better for their own sense of dignity, of self-worth, of achievement. So, as I say, I'd like to see a lower number of people on benefits. And the next thing that I'd like to see lower is crime levels. We'll be touching on that later. Maybe the higher thing, we'd like to see a higher charge rate, but overall, we've got to see a lower level of crime. Now, there The government says that it's approaching its target of 20,000 more police officers. So hopefully that, if that leads to more police officers actually on the street, on the beat, maybe that will lead to lower crime levels. As I say, I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm trying to be hopeful. The other thing that I think we need lower levels of is that real bugbear, government waste. It's everywhere. Wherever you look, you see wasteful government spending. I'll be touching on some of it later. But if we saw lower levels of government spending, then we wouldn't need the highest levels of tax that we're currently experiencing for 70 years. So we need lower levels of waste. And then obviously I had to throw in lower levels of wokery. Doesn't it drive us all mad, some of this woke nonsense? Some of it's just plain silly. Some of it actually just does consume time, resources, energy and cash. So lower levels of wokery, I think, would be a good thing in 2023. And then also, what about, given that we've got a productivity crisis, particularly in the public sector, what about lower levels of working from home? I think there is a direct link between the increase in working from home in the public sector, where you even see some jobs now advertised where people can work from home full time. But I think there's a direct link between that and lower levels of productivity within the public sector. So what are your hopes and aspirations? What would you like to see lower levels of in 2023? Have you got a wish list? Do you think things could be better in 2023? Give us a call, 0344 499 1000. Text us 87222 and using the word talk, or send us a tweet at TalkTV. So here endeth my wish list for 2023.